We've got a new org being created here to sign the Recon-5 guys. This is so always interesting to get new money going into the scene. I have no idea what their contracts are like or what kind of investment this is. Do you know any more about Strife Esports?
No, I tried to look up their org yesterday because I think the Dust 2 article said that nice, Dusty's airing out. That's fun. The article I think mentioned that they're a Canadian org, and so I looked into it, and they the only thing I could find was like a LinkedIn page from some company that they owned or that they were owned by or something like that, but I didn't find too much about it, unfortunately.
It seems to me like this is, I mean, the comparison was made in the Dust 2 article to Extra Salt, but this one seems much more like some guys have thought, yo, it'd be cool if we had a CS team. Let's make a CS team and let's figure this out. So I'm very curious to see what kind of investment and what kind of time gets put into this, because I mean, we've seen this a bunch of different ways. Obviously, Extra Salt is the situation where that's what we want to happen, where they go about it, they build the team, they put things together, they've brought on the graphic designers, they got merch going, like they're building a brand. But then you also see where somebody just goes, oh, yo, wouldn't it be cool if I had an esports team, and like approaches a random prem roster and goes, I'll pay you $200 a month to play under my name. And then it sort of falls apart, and we've seen that with a bunch of different rosters. So those are the two ends of the spectrum, I'd say, and I hope it's towards this Extra Salt end of the spectrum, and we get some more investment. Stamina certainly seems excited, and Saturn seems excited as well, saying they're hoping to build a long-term relationship, they want to find long-term stability, they want to grow Strife into a brand. But I will also say they're both very young, and that's not to speak ill of their judgment. It's just breadth of experience of we've seen a lot of young rosters get excited to work with somebody, and then it doesn't always work out. But I will say I'm excited. I will welcome them with open arms. I hope that this continues to be a relationship. I hope that they build into it. I've followed their Twitter page, so you all should too. Let's welcome a new brand in and hope they continue to stay around.
I am actually honestly excited that there's more brands trying to give it a chance, because I don't think the chances of having like legacy orgs come back and pick up premier rosters right now, especially in NA, is very low. So I think this is probably the way we're gonna see funding come in, if at all, is gonna be new people who get interested in esports and want to try testing the waters with something. I think there's also the team that got moved up from advanced called One Tap now. I think they were Triton before. That team also has funding, from what I understand, and decent funding at that. So it's nice to see more and more orgs come in and pick up some of these players.
It's pretty awesome. And I completely agree with your point where, like, at this point, no established... it is very unlikely that an established org is going to come in and pick up a Prem team. Especially, they're all dumping money into Valorant, and you really can't blame them for it with the way things are going. But I think that in my optimistic headcanon timeline, next year might be better, in that I think that next year, hopefully, knock on wood, the pandemic might lessen. My secret hope here, Nohte, which is based on very little but very long ago history, is that looking at the Spanish flu, it was like 2 years of misery, where like the first year was awful, summer was slightly better, everyone was like, all right, it's over, and then the second year came back and hit with a thunder. And so I'm hoping that's like the extent of it again, where we're going to get another winter where clearly things are ramping back up. That seems to be on the table already. And then after that, we'll be pretty in the clear. I'm fingers very crossed. And hopefully, with Lance coming back, maybe we drive some investment back in. But I'm with you for the time being. New organizations getting involved, people who love the game, trying to put their money where their mouth is, and get some investment and build the brand that way is very exciting. So fingers crossed. They've also got Mindtrax as a coach, which is still a situation that I'm a little confused by of how that wound up happening.
Yeah, I have no idea how that happened or what that whole situation is like. It's cool to see like non-endemic coaches to North America come in and give coaching some of these lineups a try. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know any details about Mindtrax specifically myself. So I mean, it'll be fun to see what happens.
I will also say, purely looking at that roster and the division that they're in, and the fact that there is so much instability in other rosters, like that squad of 5 who are actually returning a stable core, building upon it. There's a pretty good chance they could do something this season. Saturn, Slight, Austin, Jolz, Stamina. I mean, that's a lot of skill. I'm keeping an eye on Strife. Just looking at the division, you've got the main competition's obviously going to be Pain and Party Astronauts, but then past that, I don't know who the hell's playing for Choco Check. One Tap looks good, but they're still a move-up team. Mythic is Mythic. Big Chillin' is hopefully going to be able to field 5. Secret Club's dead. So there's very much a path to playoffs for this roster. It's a pretty good roster to buy in on.